Okay. Is it cold in here or is it just me?
Probably just you.
All right, I want to say no. Since last week we did Last Action Hero, right? It's only fair that we also do this one, Demolition Man.
Yeah, which I would have done it first because it's Demolition Man. Demolition Man
No,
is awesome,
it's
dude.
awesome. We saved the best for last, so
It
we
is
don't get
awesome.
depressed after.
Well, we're not done yet, so we can't say this last because we got other movies to go.
Yes, but
This
this
is
is
not the
probably
end of
one of my
our.
favorite Stallone films.
That's
I
good. That's you
One of
know
my
what?
favorite Stallone films.
I'm
Not
gonna
the
go ahead.
best.
Okay, I'm
This
just gonna
one I
say
can
this.
rewatch over and over again, like
Oh
more
yes,
than
and I do.
Rambo.
I watch this so much.
Yeah, I would watch this a lot more than like any
Actually,
other
this is I
Stallone
would
movie.
say that I think this is my favorite Stallone movie.
I think I want to say that because my girl Sandra Bullock is this movie.
Oh yeah, well
I
I forgot
think
about
this is
that.
the
Yeah,
one that I fell
that's
in love with Sandra Bullock.
but this is the movie that actually Sandra Bullock's why I went to see this movie
Oh, really?
way back. Yeah, because
Oh,
come on, she's wearing them tight black pants and stuff. I was like,
well,
hey, I gotta go see this. No, it's
before this movie, I didn't know who Sandra Bullock was back in '93. Like,
I didn't. I don't think I knew who she was. No, I didn't know who she was before this movie
yeah,
because
I
I
didn't
never
know who
saw.
she
I never
was.
saw Speed.
Oh, I saw Speed.
I never saw
That
Speed.
was my first Sandra Bullock movie. But then I knew Keanu Reeves more than Sandra Bullock in that movie.
Yeah, well, this I only went and saw this because it looked awesome.
Yes. Why does it look
Well,
awesome?
but because the police uniforms.
The police uniforms were like
It's
I
well, all
like the
right. The
car.
thing it has everything that I like about a movie. It's in the
Okay.
future.
Yes.
I mean, there we go. There, it's in the future.
Oh my god, I saw Speed before this. I can't remember. Speed
Yeah,
came out
you
after
had to.
this.
You sure?
Yeah, 94 Speed. And then Demolition Man came out before Speed.
Okay, well then this is the
Wow.
first
You
same
know what?
place I saw.
Before Demolition Man, she was all these in like Love Potion number
No, I
9.
never saw all
Yeah,
that.
I
See,
mean like
the first time I actually saw Sandra Bullock would be in this pages of Starlog magazine. There used to be. You ever hear of Starlog magazine?
no, what is
Did
that?
you ever go to the bookstore? Oh, it was Starlog magazine was mainly a sci-fi movies book.
Okay.
So it'd tell you all the movies coming out. It'd show you
Oh.
maybe a year ahead. You'd see production pictures of it, and it showed pictures of this movie. So I was like, and I saw the police car because I seen the car. The main police car they drive.
Yeah.
Most of all the police cars, actually, all the cars in here are General Motors production. What do you call them? Prototype cars,
Oh,
which
I
I'm a
really
big
like how
fan.
those Falcon doors open
Yeah,
for
well,
the
I'm a big
for this
fan.
one.
Well, I'm a big fan of prototype cars.
Oh.
So I saw those cars. That's one of the reasons I want to see this movie because I was like, oh, those cars look so cool.
Yeah, they
And I
does
thought
look
I was like,
cool.
and a lot of those cars actually, the real car didn't work. Well,
Okay.
General Motors usually most of those cars worked, but they made a lot of copies of them. Anyways, but get on with it. Though I saw it in Starlog magazine because that's the same reason I saw Dark City
Oh, okay.
because it showed it pictures of it in Starlog magazine. Of course, they changed some things from the pictures
Yeah.
to Dark City, but that's why I went to go see Dark City. So I saw this Starlog magazine. I was like, oh, I can't wait to see this.
Oh.
So
I
this is one.
also saw this on
So what is this? Is
VHS.
this rated R or
This one is rated R because Simon, Wesley Snipes' character
okay?
swears a
See, here's
lot
the
and he
funny
kills a
thing.
lot of
Well, here's
people.
the funny thing. I can't remember if I saw this theater or not. I may not have. I may just seen it so much, but I did get to see this. I know I saw this one even with all the swearing and stuff. I saw it, but again, I can't remember how old I was by the time I saw it. But
Well, it was 93, however old you were in
I almost
93.
think I really think I almost saw it at the theater.
Oh, that's cool. I would love to see this in the theater. Like, I would like them to re-release this in the theater so I
But
could watch it.
I don't think there was. I don't think I saw it at the theater though. If it was rated R, I don't know why I would have saw it at the theater
Yeah, I mean, like, if
unless I
I
went with
was
somebody
working at,
else.
I was too young to work at the time, but I would have seen this if I was, in the theater at the time.
I may just saw it not that long after it came out.
So, what this make this movie so good? Is it like the futuristic point
Oh
of
come
view?
on! No, it's not just the future. It's because it's futuristic. Does it? This was what got me in the theater. Right? The
Okay.
future part, the cars, Sandra Bullock, Rob Snyder.
Oh, Rob Snyder, Benjamin
It's
Platt in
like,
this movie too.
yeah, but he wasn't even that big to me yet. Benjamin Platt,
No, he wasn't. Not even
even
to
though
me
he was,
either.
yeah, because even though the character is cool. Plus, oh, it had Timothy Leary.
Dennis Leary.
I don't know why I call him Dennis Leary, because you already know who Dennis. Because at
I
this time,
did.
this is when his
Stand up was yeah.
his stand up was big. Yeah, because he always griped about everything. I want to
Yeah,
do this.
because the way
He's
the way that
basically
he plays he plays
yeah,
his
that is
comedic
him. That
yeah.
is him. That is him. Because you've seen him. I'm not supposed to have been watching that, but I seen
Oh,
him on
it's a pretty
HBO.
big cast then. Like
So I
this
was
has a
like,
pretty
okay,
big
so I already
cast.
knew it. Plus it had Wesley Snipes too.
Yes, Wesley
I mean,
Snipes.
I didn't know Wesley Snipes that much, but I saw like the stuff of him fighting. I was like, I gotta go
Dude,
see this.
I seen a lot of other Wesley Snipes stuff before I saw this. This when like I didn't know he knows kung fu.
I don't think I knew he knew kung fu,
Yeah,
but
I
I
didn't
knew. I mean,
either.
I know it now. I've already known it because I've heard about him actually being into all that
Yeah,
stuff.
he's very into that.
But when I went to go see it, I mean, I've heard of Wesley Snipes. I didn't know him that well, but
Yeah, it's the first time he actually get to use, I guess, something on his resume. Like, hey, I know
yeah,
martial arts, and they
yeah. Well,
finally used
he
it.
could fight. He could fight. Yeah.
He can because Stallone's first choice to play the villain was Jackie Chan. But then Jackie Chan, like he even if Jackie Chan wanted to do it, right, they have to worry about his the rest of the world audiences. Are they ready to see
Oh,
Jackie Chan as the villain? So he couldn't do it. So what's really cool about Wesley Snipes is because Jackie Chan's style of fighting in China, right, is the Southern style, like Southern
yeah.
China style, and Jet Li's with the more Northern. And Wesley Snipes, he studied the Southern China style. I'm like, oh, I guess they went from one minority to another as long as you know the skills, right? And I
Well,
was looking,
they
they
see
can do
somebody
the
could be a
action.
bad guy. Oh, they
Yes,
somebody could be a
dude,
bad guy,
Wesley
and
Snipes is so
he
good.
played an awesome bad guy.
He
So this movie does
did.
remind me now that I watched it this time. It never reminded me of any movie because to me it was a standalone movie. But
Yes.
watching this time, it kind of reminded me of Batman,
Oh, how do you
Michael
mean?
Keaton's Batman. Because
Really?
how silly Wesley Snipes is, kind of like the Joker. It's all in the dark room, especially the beginning of the movie where they're in the '90s.
Yes.
It's very
Oh, it's all yeah.
Batmanish
Start with the
because
dog
he's
at the
running through
night.
that
Yeah.
building and he's going through there beating up all
Hey,
those people.
Los Angeles, 1993, and they came out in 2032.
Yeah, this is supposed to be 1996 though in the movie.
Was it 96? Oh yeah, 96. Yeah. I mean, came
Yeah,
out in
it's supposed to be
93. You're right. Thank
96. Yeah,
you.
it's supposed to be 96. It's just thinking, oh crap, it's nothing to say. They didn't freeze nobody.
They don't even
But
care about
I like it.
that.
Remember when he goes, "Oh, look at that guy's butt. I hope my butt don't look like that." Oh, he had some good lines because this was funny because like it goes,
This
oh Jeff,
movie is a
it's
lot
funny though because it's
funnier.
also funny because he goes, oh Jeffrey Dahmer, let's thaw him out. I'm thinking Jeffrey Dahmer's dead, dude. So there's no
Yeah.
way now. Now we
So
know.
I'm so glad you talked
I
about
want
the
to point this
ice
out
thing. Oh, go ahead.
before we
Point the thing
forget
out.
it because I want to point this out because I think it's funny because it wasn't funny back then, but it's funny now.
Okay.
It's when they're down in the sewers, they find that Oldsmobile
Yes.
and it comes up into the Oldsmobile
Yeah,
dealership. And
dealership. Yep.
I'm like, Oldsmobile quit making cars like way
Oh,
back.
way back. Yes.
Yeah, even though that was the oldest car maker when before it ceased. But I
Oh
thought,
man,
oh,
I
that's
forgot
funny
about
because
Oldsmobile.
they're way up in the future. There's no Oldsmobiles now. Then of
Yeah.
course they eat Taco Bell. Remember Taco
Oh,
Bell?
so the other thing about funny about Taco Bell is that like in because for international release it
Yeah.
wasn't Taco Bell, it was
Oh,
Pizza
really?
Hut. They had to change all that to
Oh, I
Pizza
would
Hut.
love to see that.
Even
I wish I could see.
even a lot of movies like in Hong Kong where they would play
Yeah.
this in English, they wouldn't say Taco Bell, they would say Pizza Hut. So like
Oh, that would be awesome.
Stallone actually had to dupe over his lines just to say Pizza Hut because we know his voice.
Wow, that would be cool.
Yeah,
But
and then they had to
Pizza Hut didn't do
digitalize
it.
movies.
Pizza Hut's almost. I
Everything.
think Pizza Hut's doing worse than Taco Bell nowadays.
Oh, dude, I know Pizza Hut in Hong Kong. Because if you say Taco Bell, like they're right. Like Pizza Hut is a more worldwide
Yeah.
name. Yeah. Because
Okay.
some of the places in America don't even have a Taco Bell.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I don't blame them. Taco
But
Bell's
they
nasty.
know
But
of it. Yeah.
they'll give you.
So my point was like, when I saw their cloud chamber and like they're freezing prisoners, right? And I'm like,
Yeah.
even back then, who posed this bill to get passed? No one's gonna have the budget for this. That's just the adult me thinking
Yeah.
when I was watching. Like, come on, this
Well,
is dumb.
think about it though.
Yeah.
That saves on all the money, all the security guards, all because the prison could be smaller now. You don't have to
Oh.
have as many trained prisoner guards anymore now.
Okay,
So,
I like your point.
and
Yes.
plus, you don't have to pay for the feeding, the plumbing, the electricity. I mean, you got to think how much an inmate would cost you because you can't just think about the
Keep
food
them
he's
alive.
eating.
Yeah.
You got to think about the electricity he's using, the security he's got to have,
I like the way you're going, but then
and the amount of rooms you got to have in a prison for.
the one thing I don't like, right? They were supposed to serve their time. But then they're
Yeah.
not really serving time if you freeze them. Hey, I was 33 when I got frozen, and like, let's just say I come out at 2046. I'm
Yeah.
33 again. It's like, I
Yeah,
didn't
you're
get
right.
to
He
waste
didn't
my
get
life.
punished.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
he
didn't
didn't
get punished.
Well, the thing is, though, we find out they kind of get punished away because
Oh,
they
but
know what's going on.
the rehabilitation part. Oh, yes. I love
Remember?
that they point that out.
Even
Stallone was
yeah,
talking about that.
Stallone,
Yeah.
he's like, I could hear everything. So he was actually stuck there and he couldn't move, couldn't do anything. It was horrible. It was more agonizing. He would have already been dead.
Yes.
Didn't do that.
It's just a little thing that they point out. It
Plus-
wasn't even a big
Plus,
part of the movie.
whoever paid for that most likely was a company because it was B. Wells company, whatever his
B.
name
Well.
is. B. Well.
Cocteau, yes.
Yeah, Cocteau's company because I like that. Be well.
Be well.
Hey,
Yes. Oh, we could do that. Yes.
we might as well go and get 3 seashells too.
So
Which I should ask you: do you know how to use the 3 seashells?
No one does. It's just some B crap they make up. You know it is. It's not something like it's legit. It's just something that they just put out there. It's like the MacGuffin. Nothing.
What
matters.
if we get to the year 20? What was it? 20. What was the year?
2032. It's 9
2032,
years from now.
and somebody actually builds 3 seashells.
I don't follow trends like that. I'm pretty sure
One
there's somebody out
of
there.
them probably scoops the crap off. One sanitizes.
One blow dries.
Yeah, one
or something like that,
sanitizes, and the other one puts a
And you know
scent
what's
on
really
it.
funny?
Better scent.
Let's talk about futuristic stuff after the 3 seashells, right? Like the amount of space they have, that it's not enough for like, especially the last runs like right next to the wall, right? It's not enough room for me to bend over or whatever I need to do whatever.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you how the 3 seashells work.
They should have been in the commode.
So I'm gonna tell you how the 3 seashells work.
Okay, please, please.
The problem is, you sit down on the commode, right? There's
Yep.
3 seashells on this little shelf next to you.
Mhm.
Most likely, they're decorative buttons that control certain functions in the toilet.
Oh.
So you push this button at this time, and then you set the second seashell, and then you hit the third seashell.
So it's
it
like
may
a
be just like you said.
bidet.
It's probably a one fancy bidet. He's probably thinking you got to pick them things out, but no, you just push them. They're buttons.
Oh, okay.
And not every household's going to have 3 seashells. I may have something that looks different.
So
Welcome to the future.
since we opened the door for the 3 seashells, right? What technology that you saw in this future that you love?
Oh, really? All this technology wasn't that great. I mean,
No,
it was
like
cool
invention,
for the
not
time
just
it come out.
technology.
I
Invention.
did like the spray foam in the cars.
Oh, I love that. Yes, because
That's
of safety
pretty cool.
thing.
I did like this.
I wrote that too.
I didn't really like the cars are stuck to. It looks like they're stuck to a track and stuff on the highway. But I did like how they self-drive and the steering wheel shrinks in. That's cool.
Oh, that was really cool. They
I
had
did
that
like
in Minority Report too, like self-drive
Yeah,
and
yeah.
auto.
I like the cars. I thought they were cool. I like the graffiti things that shoot out the wall.
Oh,
and
that
wipe
like
off all the
cleans it up
graffiti.
immediately.
Yeah,
that
that's
was
pretty
really
interesting. Cool. That could be very dangerous for folks, though.
Yes, and they did that in the movie too when the
I mean,
cop
there's
was
not
in
that.
front of it.
There's not that many future things they show you, though.
Hey,
really,
I'm surprised that you didn't talk about auto inflate tires.
Don't we already have something similar? Well, we don't have it that good.
No, we don't have it that good. Like,
Do you want auto
immediately.
inflate? Do you want auto
Yes,
inflate?
of course, because it's a huge safety thing. Like
Auto inflate tires.
just like that foam in the car, it's a huge safety
Yeah,
thing.
well, I'm sure we'll eventually get that.
Yeah. The foam
was
or
pretty
the
good,
auto
too.
inflate?
The auto inflate. I don't see the foam ever being possible.
The auto inflate is really cool. I mean, like,
The auto
people are
inflate.
working with airless tires now. Have you seen
Well, they're
those?
actually more going towards tires that you can't flatten.
Yeah, you can't flatten.
That would make more sense than an auto inflate tire.
Yeah.
Because I think even the military has that. I think the Humvees, they can air up the tires to a point while they're driving.
Oh.
I could be wrong, but I could have swore I heard.
I mean,
they
like,
got,
it seems
not
possible.
like it's not going to be like we saw in the movie.
Demolition Man.
But I think it could keep or try to keep or put air in there the way they can at least get further away.
Yeah. So I put the auto inflate tires, there's a curvy foam, right? I like the sex machine. Even since I was a kid.
Oh,
it feels like
that?
you could have sex with anybody without touching anybody, but then do you really call that sex, or you have to call it VR sex? Does that make sense? Like, for sex is like a physical touch, right?
Yeah, I'm okay. I don't need the headset either.
No, the headset remind me of South Park. Have you seen that episode of South Park when they
No,
there
I
was
didn't.
an episode about the fear of child being abducted, right? So what they in that episode they create these really big helmets with like a satellite dish, so you can always know the
So
location
you
of
look
the
like
child,
Ant-Man?
right? Oh no, nothing that small, but like
Classic Ant-Man.
no.
Remember classic Ant-Man, the comic book? He's got that
Yeah,
big giant
no,
round ball
not
helmet.
that would be smaller. But it's like, you know how a bike helmet is really big on top, right?
Yeah,
Imagine that, but like maybe four
something like
times, and then like all these gadgets, the satellite. There's like a little satellite dish that turns like keeps
so
spinning.
basically it looks like Doc Brown's read your mind machine.
Oh, that's smaller too. That's
Okay.
smaller too.
Okay. Well, we
So
don't have to keep on going at it.
no, but like the funny thing I talk about is like that helmet, right? It reminds me of that is because the kid is like, dude, I don't want to wear this. And the parents are like, hey, everyone's going to be wearing one. No one's going to notice. Then they show the next scene. All the kids are wearing this big old helmet. That's what that Demolition Man scene reminds me of. Like this thing that you put on, like the VR thing. I mean, like that movie is kind of outdated. Like, because right now we have the VR thing you just easily strap on your head.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Well, those have always been around. In
But
a
I
way.
thought that was pretty cool because it reminded me of Inception a little bit because you're entering another person's mind with that
Well,
gadget.
I don't know. You're actually getting it. They're not getting in somebody's mind. They're just linking an image and stuff to help go move along. Probably using like your heightened
Sense of like,
senses and stuff. Yeah, and you're thinking you're seeing some. I mean, I bet you it's not all that much.
yeah, I know. Right? I
Right.
have questions like the
It's
three
probably not that
seashells.
amazing.
Like
Yeah.
that is more intriguing to me. Like, well, how does that work instead of the three seashells?
Okay.
Like
Well,
to
I'm
me,
sorry.
the other thing I really love is the glow stick.
Oh, the glow stick's pretty cool.
Like, does this work? Like, what
Especially when he
the heck
blows
is
up the
this?
car with the glow stick.
Oh, when Simon Phoenix
Yeah.
did that. You know what's one thing I noticed about Simon Phoenix character? He has two different eye colors, right? Like one is brown,
Yep.
one is
Yep.
yellow.
He does.
Did you notice that sometimes they interchange?
Oh, I didn't know
Sometimes
that.
the blue one is on the left and sometimes on the right. I was like, did they make a mistake here or did they did this on purpose?
I don't know. Maybe in how they filmed it. They probably forgot. Who knows?
Oh, that's really good.
Or they flipped something, because it's easy to flip something.
Yeah.
And
Oh, maybe they shot the
nobody
scene one
tells.
side and they
Yeah.
want it mirrored. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I noticed it. I was like, whoa, this is really strange.
Yeah, I didn't notice them flip. I didn't pay much attention, but I did notice he had to. But I also like it. He also says Simon says.
Yes, Simon Says. I thought it was a cool tagline from a villain.
Yeah,
They're
Simon
still
says.
running off the tail end of the 80s, the action movies of the 80s. I mean, they have a lot of. They also make fun of. I think this is why I feel like this is like a parody movie, kind of like Last Action Hero, because they put that in Sandra Bullock's character. Hey, let's go blow this guy. Blow this guy away. It bothers him so much. He finally matches meat.
He didn't bother that much on that one because Barry goes, man, she sure does have a way with words.
Yeah, matches meat. Met his match and kicked his ass.
But I guess it wasn't a parody. It wasn't a parody because it does shit. But
yeah, the more I've seen, you're right.
Mainly because the beginning, the movie. Because think about it. Remember, it shows L.A. and everything's on fire, everything's junked up. It's like so extreme, and then he's the demolition man. He goes into a building and then kills everybody or blows the whole thing up.
Yep, blows everything up.
But the neat thing is, he actually gets in trouble for it this time.
See, so I want to find it interesting when when Simon Phoenix set him up right with the passengers.
Yeah.
Wouldn't they do some kind of autopsy that they could tell, like, hey, these people actually died before the explosion?
They might, but
that's what I was thinking too. That was what.
But they're probably fed up. But the most chances they're fed up with him, so they're just like, let's just put him away.
I'll just put him away, forget it.
Yep, because they seem to. That's what they want. It was easy though for them to do it.
See, if we use that kind of logic to this day, like, or he could have sued and he could own the whole state of California.
Well,
you can't do that to a person.
Not if he's frozen, he can't do nothing.
Yeah. Would you like to be frozen that way? Let me ask that question. You asked me about Inception. Would you like to be not like a prison thing, right?
Okay.
Let's just say you want to live in the future. Like, hey, Shane, we got you a travel package, but this is a really deep commitment. We freeze you right now, and you get to choose what year you want to be thawed out. But you only get to pick, like, either 2050, 2052, 2078, whatever.
Really?
Like, would you do that, though?
Oh, that's a pretty interesting deal. I'd have to think about it.
Oh,
No,
okay.
I mean, yeah, I didn't think about it now. Well, I'm not gonna think about it now, obviously, because it's not gonna happen. But if somebody's come up to me,
Well, it's like
I'd
the
be like,
Inception thing you asked
but
me.
if somebody was to come up to me and go, "Hey, do that," I'd be like, I would have to think about it and I'd get back with you.
Oh,
See, I might do it.
yeah, because that's a life changing decision, right?
But I don't know. See, the problem is was when you wake up in the future, there's a lot of catching up you got to do.
Not only catching up, like you have to get used to, like, imagine like
Plus
someone
you
from the
lose plus
1920s
plus
to
you lose everything from
you
your
lose
time.
everything. Yep. So
Hmm.
that's a good scenario. Let's just say you have nobody left, right? Like you're an orphan or whatever. I'm not just say that my probably if I lose connection to all my loved ones, then I could think about that.
I
It's
would
kind of
do it.
like it's kind of like
No,
Passengers, right? The movie
if
Passengers.
yeah,
That's basically what it is.
if I didn't have anything, yeah, I would just go on to the future.
But would you like to keep all your stuff, or would you like to have whole brand new stuff?
I would like to
Think
keep
about
my
it. I
stuff.
would
I want
like
to
you
keep all
to,
my stuff. You know why? Because I could
because
sell it in the
yes,
future.
see, that's what I was thinking too.
Yeah, I could sell some of this. It may be worth something. Because
So
they
they might
probably
have
don't
to
even.
put it in the storage
Because who
room
knows?
for
They
you.
may own not a, people may not even own stuff in the future.
Yeah, I was
Man,
thinking
come
about
on! You
that
met
too.
some of these newer generations. This stuff is stupid. I'm gonna keep my stuff.
I'm so glad. Yeah, I think like if you have no connection with
Yeah, if I had
loved
no
ones, then
connection
yeah,
whatsoever,
then
yep,
it's
I'd be
easier
like,
to do
let's.
that way.
I'd be like, yeah, go ahead, let's freeze me. Let's see what happens.
How far would you go?
Man, I'm not. I don't know. Make a pretty good jump. I would like. I don't know.
How far do you think technology would advance in
I would
probably a
like to.
lot
Oh,
in
oh,
30
the problem is
years?
it's gonna get quicker and quicker and quicker to almost where you can understand it. I'd probably do it. I'd probably do a 20-year jump or a 40-year jump.
Ooh, good choice.
Yeah, I wouldn't
If you
go. I
do,
wouldn't go. Oh, I'm not doing 100. I would not do 100
you
because
know what's really
it's
trippy?
gonna be.
Let's
I
just say
think
just
in 100 years, I don't think it's gonna be
close
recognizable enough.
family, right? Let's just say you do the 30-year jump and I meet you back when I'm 6 or 70 year old and you're
Yeah,
in the age you're now. That's trippy. That's time traveling.
that is the easiest way to time travel.
Yep.
That is the time travel because you're staying still where everything else moves.
Yes.
That's how time travel works. No matter what you do,
Yeah, you stay
you're
still.
basically slow down, and the rest of the world moves up.
Oh, wow. Ooh,
But
that's
that's time
trippy to
travel. I
think
mean,
about.
come on, you're time traveling right now, but at the
Yes.
same pace as the
That's
world you live
everybody
in.
else. Yeah.
But you want to slow your pace down and let the other world just keep moving at
I read
its.
that about going to space. Like if we can do
Yeah,
space travel far and come
which
back,
is by
yeah,
hundreds of a second. So
yeah,
that'd
yeah,
be
you have to
nothing
travel
for it.
really far and then come back.
Maybe people haven't done that yet. You'd have to go pretty
No.
far out, and you got to go at a certain speed.
Hey, you want to hear a dumb joke that I read the other day?
I hear a lot of them, so go ahead and give me one.
Okay, so like the flat Earth people, right?
Yeah,
The people who believe the world is
yeah,
flat.
yeah.
So if you think about it, the world is actually like more than 70% is water, right? And none of
Yeah.
that water is carbonated. So technically, the world is flat.
All right, dad joke.
Thank you. Do you think it was a bad joke? It
There's a
was
dad
really
joke.
bad.
It's okay. Let's go.
Thank you.
It's sharp. Yeah. Ooh, good thing you don't do a comedy for a living.
Hey, I didn't write that joke. I just read it.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, hey, it's okay.
The
We
joke I
everybody.
make is about what women call it when there's no guys around their party. That's a joke I wrote.
Yeah, that one actually your flat joke works better.
Oh, I'm gonna forget you then. It's not my joke. It's someone else's joke that I'm not
Well,
as funny as they are. Okay.
okay. Well, I guess that's hey,
That was
yeah,
sarcastic and I guess pun intended, obviously.
that's so well. Let's keep moving.
All right.
I don't want to
So
slow our show down for that.
no, sorry about that. Um, you know, the other thing I really like is when they talk about the what did they call it? I put a wall to wall mini tunes. You call them commercials,
Oh
and they
yeah,
were
the
singing the
commercials. They're
Oscar
singing.
Mayer Wiener Dog
Well,
song.
they didn't sing Oscar Mayer winner. They made up their own
Oh, they
commercial,
make
but it
the
was
commercial, yeah.
yeah, none of that stuff I've heard of. That was some other brands they
Why
made,
can they get the rights to it? That's why.
Yeah, well, it just you don't want to why pay out?
Yeah, why pay when you just make us something
Because
dumb?
there wasn't that much product placement in this movie if you think about it.
Only Taco Bell or Pizza
Taco
Hut
Bell.
depends on region.
Well, Oldsmobile, which a
Oldsmobile,
lot,
because you said it was
lot of good,
GM, yeah,
lot of good that did them. But yeah, you see a lot of General Motors cars, so that's okay.
yeah.
Plus, What this was in Los Angeles. This is San
San
Angeles.
Angeles, and they actually go through the trouble of explaining why that is. Like they have to
Yeah,
combine cities and
I thought
stuff.
it was pretty cool though, because the big earthquake killed everybody,
Yeah, the big one.
and this is what was left.
Yep.
Then of course you get to go to the museum and see that street scene from the 20th century.
Yes.
That's so cool. I love that. I like it when it goes to that museum. I thought that was so cool.
Oh, that was so. Yeah.
As the funny thing, especially because Simon, he's up there, he is kicking the crap out of there, trying to get one of them guns.
Yeah,
He's
yes.
yelling and get that gun. Here comes that guy, walks in there with a robe. He's
What's your
smiling. He's
boggle?
like, oh, he's smiling so big, like
What's
he's
my
like.
boggle?
I mean, come on. If you saw somebody kicking the crap out of a cabinet full of guns, would you walk up there with a big old smile going,
it's,
hey?
it's tough to answer that question. I love that you asked it because, like, at that time, right, they were not used to people who are acting out of anger or rage. Like
Well,
they got used to that society. Would you like to live in that society, or would you like to live below with Dennis Leary?
Oh, I don't want to live down below with Dennis. Well, I don't know.
So you would have to live the control way.
I want a hamburger. Yeah, I want a hamburger.
Well, we'll go back to that scene.
I'll eat a rat burger too.
I would too, definitely.
But anyways, yeah. I mean, I guess you would think about it. I guess you should be smiling because if you never seen anything, you see somebody hit something, you think, oh, I've never seen anybody try to do something like that. I don't know what's wrong with him.
Yeah, see, that's the way, like, it's not right to control like that, right? Because you're moving people's free will away.
It's not.
And that's not the way that U.S. would work.
See, that's not the way freedom works. See, people
that's not the way
think
freedom works.
that's the thing, though. That's the thing. People think, well, we'll just get rid of all the crime. I'm like, you can't.
You can't get rid of crime.
The only way to get rid of crime is control everybody. Are you going to do that?
Oh, I was going to hold on. Before you say control everybody, I think the only way you get rid of crime, right, is you do the universal basic income, the UBI.
Oh, I don't think you'll ever get rid of it because somebody may just go one day, oh, I'm going to be a bad guy.
Or just kill people. Like that's
yeah,
like
well,
a crime.
that's
Yeah,
basically, you're gonna always go. Somebody's always gonna want more. I don't give a crap if it's universal.
I would say, like, you know what kind of crime would go down? Like crime would go down, like, robbery and stuff. That but you can stop
petty crimes. You're not gonna stop organized crime.
No, you're not.
No, because somebody's gonna want part of your universal income. So they're gonna
crime
sell you
will
drugs.
always be a part of us.
Yeah, somebody's gonna sell you drugs or prostitution or something to get part of your free money, so they get a little bit more.
Yep.
It don't matter what they give you. Someone's always going to want more.
Yeah, someone will always want more.
So that'll be like universal fraud. Universal income fraud.
So this is a good fantasy movie too. Did they name this a fantasy science fiction movie?
Sci-fi
action film. Yeah,
just sci-fi action. Man.
So this is sci-fi action.
Yes, this is
because before action. Oh, you know what? You know how I talked about the Sixth Day? There's also a sci-fi action, but these are like Stallone and Schwarzenegger sci-fi action movies, though. I mean, like you're talking about Marvel,
right? Marvel's sci-fi action.
That's what I'm saying, like
But it's not. Marvel's not really sci-fi. It's more fantasy.
Yeah, it's fantasy. That's right. That's true.
I mean, unless you're watching Iron Man, then that might be sci-fi. But...
So last movie we talked about last action hero Schwarzenegger. I mean Stallone being Terminator 2, right?
Yeah.
And in this movie, they did the Schwarzenegger Presidential Library.
He goes, oh my god! He goes, how did that guy become
president?
Yeah, they go, oh, he made an amendment, so and so.
Like she actually talked about the 76th Amendment. Yeah. That's really impressive. In 2023, we still only have 27, right? Because we haven't done anything.
Well, I'm sure after everybody fell in the ocean.
What?
They had an earthquake and all the people.
Oh, you're talking about the big one? But they still have, like, this movie predicted 76th Amendment. And today, as a society of American citizens, we have not evolved since forever ago. Like, is the president still alive from the 27th Amendment? I don't even remember what year was the 27th Amendment. There's going to be a time in our lives, right, where like the last person that was around the 27th Amendment is dead. Because we haven't done anything.
Okay.
Like, won't you think that's B crap? Like, we haven't done anything. Have we not evolved as a nation to have more, like, amendments and stuff? Well, I guess not.
Don't we really need them?
I don't
see. That's the thing. If you don't need it, why? I mean, we make enough stupid laws already. Why do we need more?
I don't know. That's a way of control, right?
Yeah, it's a way of control. We don't need it.
So no cocktail.
Otherwise, you're going to be making sweaters because I'm a seamstress. Yeah,
I
because you
wanted to.
remember when, because did we point out, because every time they freeze you, they give you best skills,
Oh, so did
which
you
is
like
cool.
that?
Oh yes, I love that. That's a great idea. I mean, I thought of that idea before the movie came out. I think I've seen it in other movies, but
So they
yeah.
kind of like inject you, like they
Well, yeah, they
give you
just put you
knowledge
in
while you're
there and they
sleeping.
give you knowledge. Yeah, basically while you're
It's like
sleeping, you can learn.
Matrix.
Yeah, you can learn how to fight. It's Matrix basically because remember they give Snipes' character Simon. They gave him all kinds of uh
Bad stuff. Like,
yeah, they gave him kung fu, terrorist fighting, blah blah
and they
blah,
make his
bomb
muscle
making,
mass
computer
stronger.
deal. Yeah, they just made him all kinds of stuff.
Did you notice that? Like, I pay
They
attention
did make
after
him
I found
stronger,
that out,
right?
right? And like in the beginning, in 1996, he looks skinnier. Did you notice
Yeah,
that his body looks skinnier until he came out, right? He's more muscular.
yeah, but they got it right. Plus, I like the thing because it reminds me of RoboCop. Remember when he's sitting there, he keeps trying to shoot that guy, Koto, or
Yeah,
whatever
he
his
couldn't
name
shoot
is.
him.
Couldn't shoot him. Then he throws the gun over to Steve Austin.
Yeah,
No, it wasn't
so
Steve Austin.
I
Who
thought
was
when
that?
they thought, yeah, Steve Austin is the movie. When they thought the others out, they would be safe to like, hey,
It's not
all
Steve
these other
Austin. Who
guys.
was that? Who
No,
was
it's
that? That
Steve
was
Austin. Steve Austin
that's
is
not
in this movie.
that was Steve Austin.
Yeah, well, it might not be the Steve Austin, but Steve Austin was in this movie. I don't think he had a speaking part though.
Was that Steve Austin? I thought it was a different actor.
No, I can't
I
remember
think
who
this
it
movie
is.
Steve Austin wasn't around yet.
No, but he was in
I
this
forgot
movie.
what. No, this is Jesse Ventura.
Oh, Jesse Ventura, not Steve Austin. Yeah,
Yeah,
Jesse Ventura.
they look similar.
They
Okay.
do look
Yeah,
similar because that the
yeah,
clean shaved head.
he throws it to Jesse
Jesse
Ventura,
Ventura.
and then they shoots him. Fills it
Yes.
full of lead. I thought that is awesome.
That is awesome, but like I didn't like that part. But like they programmed that into Simon Phoenix. You couldn't program that to all your prisoners. It
Well,
doesn't matter who
he
it
didn't
is.
think about it. See, this the problem is that cartoon guy. He's so smart that nobody could touch him by now.
Oh,
You got
so
to
it's
think
a
because see how he controls everybody, and everybody's so simple minded.
yeah.
He's thinking, all right, Simon, I can control Simon. Simon's not that smarter than me. And Simon's thinking, and Simon's just genius already.
Yes.
He's just pure evil. See, the problem is this guy does not understand Simon at all either. Because I mean, Stallone
No.
keeps telling everybody, you're not understanding this
Oh,
guy
that's
at
the
all.
funny part. See, hold on. Let me point out that scene. I love that the chief, right? He's like, we're just gonna wait for him to kill another person, and then we're gonna swarm. Like, nice plan. He
Yeah,
likes your
that's
plan,
good.
chief.
Yeah, he likes your plan, Chief. We're just gonna wait for him to murder somebody.
That
And
is
we'll go
like
get
very subtly funny, right? Like, wow, what kind of police role is this? Like, they're not equipped to handle 1X7. They're not equipped to handle an
They don't
aggressor.
do nothing.
Like, what is the police for?
Yeah, see, but I think that's how the main guy thinks too, because he's thinking, because he's just so aggravated. He goes, "I just want you to kill what's the name, and then I'll get rid of you, easy."
Yeah,
But the problem is Simon's like, "I'll just go pick my people," and he's like, "Okay, go ahead and pick your people." He didn't even go there with him to try to fix those people. He just like, "Oh, go ahead and get you a bunch of thugs."
yes, and they were
He never
going to do
thought
their
of
own
it.
thing.
Yeah, and then he's thinking, "Well, now I got power because I got my own people, and I don't
Yeah.
need you now. I saw the way around it because you programmed me to be able to kill you."
Oh, yeah, and I think that's why it's so smart for him to toss the gun because he couldn't. He kept trying to shoot him, but he can't because
Yeah,
it's a mind
yeah,
control
yeah.
thing. And
Yeah,
that's the
Robocop.
only thing that bothered me. Like, you should put that in everyone, just like
Well, he
RoboCop,
should
like
have.
you
He
said.
should
Yeah,
have put that in everybody, but he probably didn't realize it. So he probably thought Simon was just going to be able to go down there and kill that friendly
yep,
guy,
and
no
then that was
problem.
it. Yep.
But he didn't realize, oh, this guy wants more people. He was like, whatever, because he's not smart enough.
Yes, but I did like the Stallone's role. Like, he wanted to be a streamtress. That was really great. Because
Yeah,
I know at this time, right, he doesn't get a lot of input on like these dumb things like until he control his like what we haven't seen this yet on this channel, but we have seen the Expendables, and he made his main character's name Barney, not something like tough and like. In their movies, always something like simple, like John Rambo, John Matrix, Jack Slater, John, what's his name in this one? Spartan. John Spartan. What a cool name.
That is a cool name.
But it's always like John and Jack and something simple.
Yeah,
Like they didn't take too much, and then like the Expendables, Stallone's like, I'm gonna be called Barney. Is one of those not macho names ever in the history of the world.
Well, I guess it is now.
Barney. Right, that's why it's so funny. Like, even when he was in the scene, right? Like, when that naked chick shows up in that video FaceTime phone, he's
Oh
like,
yeah.
whoa,
Oh,
what the heck?
yeah.
That's
Whoa.
something that we actually have to this day by FaceTime. But when he was
Oh
doing the
yeah.
yawn thing, like
My
his
FaceTime never showed up
his
like that.
big old arm,
Yeah, I
like
know. He's over
it
there
looks
trying
so
to.
funny. It's not even supposed to be like, what the hell is Stallone doing with a ball of yarn and those like chopstick needles?
Yeah, well, he's doing his second trade.
And I guess in the program he also learned Spanish, cause
Oh yeah.
yeah, he learned Spanish. Like, this is the rat burger. He's like,
Oh,
it's the
he may
best burger
always
I ever.
he may
Yeah,
always known Spanish though, because he lived in California.
yeah, that's true too. I did
Yeah,
like
but
that.
I did
Like
like that.
he almost gagged a little bit, but he's still eating, right? And the next thing is like he finished his whole burger. Like,
Yeah, well, he
it's
had
the
a beer
best
to go
burger I
with
had
it.
in years.
Yeah, well, it's pretty good when you have a beer to go with it. I mean, come on, you've been
Yes.
frozen and you can't get meat there no more.
Oh, no meat, no beer. Like, no, this is the best
You
thing I
ain't
had
getting
in
nothing.
years.
Yeah,
All I
can't
had was
swear.
I had
Because
taco.
remember
Oh,
every time you swear, you
yes.
get a fine.
I hear that. Like, even though sometimes like you don't hear it, it's very faint.
Yeah,
Every time they swore,
every line. Yeah,
it
every
was
line you can see, you get way
great.
back in the back somewhere.
You would think that would be something that would be annoying after a while, but like every time I look forward to it, like they're gonna say
Yeah,
something
because
like,
it's so funny. It's so funny.
It is funny. I noticed on the cops, right? It's half a credit, but if you're a regular citizen, it's a whole credit. So a cops
even
get a
know.
discount.
I didn't even notice that. Oh, that's
Yeah.
sad.
But they didn't give Spartan because it was just Spartan, right? But like I think
Yeah,
it was only Sandra Bullock that swore, and she got half a credit. I noticed that. Yeah.
yeah, I like that. So when she says, "You take this job and shovel,
Shovel it. Like, take this job and shovel. That's close enough.
Close enough. And then he kisses her at the end.
Oh, that was really good. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good too.
Yeah. I want to say I love Sandra Bullock. I always have. I still do. Like, did you hear the news that like her partner recently died from ALS? I can't remember the disease. And I told Heather, like, did you know that Sandra Bullock had a partner, like I guess a boyfriend? Like, no.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, I didn't know either. So what it tells me is that Sandra Bullock is not available because she's single.
Well, I'm thinking you're not supposed to be available either. So
But it's something I should know.
it's like,
Heather,
hey, I told my wife that
Heather
Sandra Bullock.
knows it's Sandra Bullock. If Sandra Bullock comes and asks me to marry her, I'm gonna have to leave everything. Sorry. I'm gonna have to change my last name to Bullock. Lamb Bullock, no more Lamb Chewy, none of this nonsense.
Oh, I don't
I'll see
think
you guys
that's.
later.
I think with an attitude like that, Lamb, you don't ever have to worry about her calling you
Yeah, I don't have to. Yep.
because she's already thinking, "Oh, you're that type of guy."
Because it's like once in a million, right? It's
Already
like
been
that
there.
Dumb and
Already
Dumber.
been there. Already been there and done that.
1 in a million. Like, there's no chance. You have to say no chance opposed to 1 in a million. Because if you tell me 1 in a million, it'd be like, I'd be like Dumb and Dumber. So you're telling me there's a chance.
There's a chance. Yeah, there's no
I
chance.
do like Sandra Bullock, not because like, she's pretty, right? Not
She's
because
been
of
in a
that.
lot of good movies.
Not only is
She's
she's a good actress, it's because what she's done to for other cultures.
Okay.
You know why I love Sandra Bullock? I'm going to put this out here right now because this movie has Sandra Bullock.
I'm going to hear whether I want to or
So
not.
a long time ago, even when we were working at Lowe's, right? I was listening to obviously I like stand up, and then this comedian named George Lopez have his own show on ABC.
Oh, really?
So,
I never heard of him. No, I'm joking.
So
joking.
I like to read internet, like, hey, how did George Lopez get his show produced, right?
Okay.
Or a guy I never heard.
Yeah.
It's because Sandra Bullock, even though it's like, shoot, was it
Didn't
90?
Didn't you tell the story before?
I did, so I want to get this on YouTube now.
Okay.
Lamb
I
loves
thought you were
Sandra
okay.
Bullock.
So I thought you had this already on one of our shows.
I don't know. Do you? It might be.
Well,
because,
because I've heard this story a few times from you.
Yeah, but because it may be because we're not online.
But yeah, go ahead and do it on the show.
Know.
That way, I don't ever have to listen to this story again.
So I like Sandra Bullock. Like, oh, she's the one who produced the show. She found another producer. They start going to L.A. and Texas to listen to all these, I guess, Hispanic comedians, right? Because she felt that there wasn't a representation on television for a whole bunch of Latinos or Mexicans in this case. Okay. So she actually got that produced, and that's when I questioned, like, is Sandra Bullock Mexican? Because that's how I would think, right? Hey, you want your race to shine, And that's why I was like,
that's considered a race.
and that's
Yeah.
when George Lopez like thanks Sandra Bullock a lot too. And if it wasn't for her, right, he would have never gotten a show on ABC.
Yeah.
And that's why I love Sandra Bullock so much. Like, wow, if it's just so great to be somebody like that pays attention to to something else that's not part of your culture. It's kind of like if I made it famous, right, and then suddenly I made like I couldn't even name who I would do this for. Like I had to go out there and say, if it was like there's a huge underrepresentation of like these certain people on television or on media, and then I go do something. I had never seen a person
or you
like
could just
that.
watch, or you could just sit there and watch ABC and go, what have they not done yet? Now, I'm putting Lamb on TV.
A lot. Yeah, like
there's a lot of things. You always want to do something.
No one has really put Chinese people on TV unless it's a Chinese person. Like kind of like what I said about Marvel, like Shang-Chi. Like, wow, I can't believe this is happening. What is going on here? In Kevin Feige, I trust.
But if you go to China, you can see Chinese people all the time.
Yeah, but that's different though. I'm talking about like white Caucasian America here.
Yeah, well, I don't see the white shows in China.
No.
Okay.
No, you're wrong because from what I know, the Addams Family is in Hong Kong, China. Yeah. Because my mother knows that show.
So they're gonna think.
Because I was like, I had never heard the Chinese name until she was like, "Oh, I know the Addams Family. Oh, this is interesting."
Oh, she know the Addams Family.
Yeah. So he's not underrepresented, I guess, because that show is so popular.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is Fresh Off the Boat real popular over in China?
I have no idea. That's a good question, though.
That is a good question.
I don't know.
It may be shown overseas.
Because it might not be in China because that family is Taiwanese.
Oh. Oh, yeah, I forgot.
Yeah,
One China.
Taiwanese, yep.
Well, they should watch it anyways.
Yes, they should. I watch it.
They should. Yeah, why not? It's
because
not a bad show.
I identify a lot with Eddie, except his parents speaks English. It's just the hip hop culture thing.
Yeah, I figured so because when I watch it, I was like, "Oh, this reminds me of this is probably what Lamb when he was a little kid."
Yes, but
like, what a butthole.
It could be worse. Yes, yeah, could be worse because they had to do that on TV. They can't be like, "Oh, they can't show the real stuff."
Yeah, it's TV. Plus, it's based on somebody else's story, so
it is too, and like, well. The other thing is like I try to be like Sandra Bullock in a way because like how I do that in my world, like in what I do now is like, hey, when I was young, right, my parents didn't speak English, so I'm not able to like do recreational stuff because my parents didn't know how to sign me up for like basketball activities with other kids like soccer, right? And now I see like I met like kids in my neighborhood, right? What I do is like, okay, we have soccer practice, and then like these kids would come. The first thing they always ask me is like, "Do you speak Spanish?" I'm like, "Oh, sucks. No, I don't." And the other coach doesn't either, because their parents don't speak Spanish, right? But they want to ask about what we're doing here because those like it's Mexican kids or whoever Hispanic children, they want to play soccer. So when I find that out, I try my best to like, "Hey, this is where you go. You sign them up, and you could be on our team and things like that." And so I try to do that. I try to provide what my parents can't provide for me when I was these kids' ages. Dude, I set up like a whole indoor soccer team where parents don't even speak English. I had to speak to their kids. So like, hey, make sure you tell your mom this. You make sure you tell your parents this, okay? This is what's happening. They have to go here, and this is what you've done. Like kind of like that. Like no one else did for my mom for me. That's what I'm trying to do. Like I feel like that's one of the reasons why I love Sandra Bullock, not just because she's beautiful, right? That's just a plus.
Okay.
But her personality, that's why I love her.
Okay.
I had to tell everyone.
All right. Now we could move.
Now we go past that. So how did you like Rob Schneider in this movie? I mean,
well, he wasn't really a big role in this movie.
He was not in
just a little bit, but I know who he was when he was in this movie. I was like, oh, that's Rob Schneider.
It's kind of like the comedians, right? Like they have to get these movie roles to get more exposure.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people knew who he was by then. So
yeah, because he was on SNL.
Yeah, SNL.
I mean, like I thought it was always cool that he's always also in Judge Dredd with Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah, well, that's mainly where I think this is what got him into because I mean, this movie is basically
his audition for Judge Dredd.
Yes, it was. Well, it was based on Judge Dredd.
Wait, which came out first, Dredd or Demolition Man? This came out first, right?
Yeah, this came out first.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, this is way before Judge Dredd.
This way before just. Was it way before? When is? Let me take a look. I'm
Not way
looking.
before.
Oh,
What is it,
95.
96? Oh, it's
95.
95?
Yeah,
Okay.
Judge Dredd
Well, that
came out
was,
95.
yeah. So,
I thought it was like his facial expressions. He didn't know how to use the 3C show.
yeah, well, the
I
thing
can see
is, a
how
lot of
that's
people,
difficult.
yeah, I can see that's difficult after he looks at him.
I
Plus,
looked at.
plus he just cusses and gets all the paper and goes in the
Yeah,
bathroom with
I'll see
it.
you guys in a few minutes. I thought it was cool when they he actually met one of the guys that like the helicopter flyer, the pilot.
Yeah, yeah,
Zachary Lamb, like he knows him from back in the day, and he gets to see him in the future. It's just kind of like that question I posed to you, like,
yeah.
"Oh, you're gonna
Well,
see me when I'm old."
it's weird though, because you see some of the people remember the old days, and then some of the other older guys
Yeah,
act like they didn't
like the
remember
chief,
anything.
right?
Yeah, the chief. I'm like,
Well, the
where
chief was
did you
probably
come
younger
from?
than Zachary Lamb. Like he looks younger than Zachary Lamb,
Maybe,
because he
maybe
could
it
be
was.
50 and the Zachary could be 70. Was
Okay,
this?
that
Did I
makes
do the right
sense.
math? Yeah, yeah, I did. Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
But
Well, how
Zachary
about
Lamb is probably the only oldest person we saw that Cocteau.
yeah,
Cocteau would know.
Cocteau should have, but he acts like he don't remember those days either in a
Mm-hmm.
way. I mean, he'll talk about them and how he fixed everything, but I'm like, but again, most likely in that time, he never lived in the horrible parts
No.
ever. You know, he's probably one of the people, oh, I lived in a nice apartment, had tons of money, never saw any people, no dirty
Yes.
people whatsoever.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I just watched it from the window.
That's what I'm on the TV. That's how I know all
You
this
know,
history from, just from the TV.
I was in my apartment and I looked down and I saw a homeless person and I called security
And then he
immediately.
got out of there. Yeah. Well, that
Yeah.
must be nice.
And then I thought I will do something about I will help those people. We'll freeze them all and reprogram them. Well, there
so,
is some people like that in the real world, you know. The
I'm
way that's
surprised they didn't need the human rights activists. Like, dude, you can't just freeze people and then just thaw them out later. What do you think this is, Captain America?
yeah. Well, anyways, they got tons of people living under their city, so
Yeah. Hey, the other thing they cut out this storyline was like when the Demolition Man Spartan mentioned that he had a daughter.
oh yeah.
She's actually cast in the movie. They just didn't develop that storyline.
Oh really?
There was
Wow.
actually a woman. It was towards the end. She was standing behind the dentist theory of Benjamin Platt at the end, like when they were all dressed up. One of the females with the curly head, that was his daughter. I
Oh
found
okay.
that out,
Wow.
yeah, online. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. They just never developed that story.
Yeah,
Though.
just went ahead and left it out.
Yeah,
Oh, that's probably best.
because this movie was short, right? It was not a
Yeah,
long movie.
this was not a long movie.
A 115 is under 2 hours. Well, 1 hour
Yeah.
55 minutes. That's a good
That's the
amount
way
of
the
time.
last action hero could have used some pointers for this one.
Yeah,
That's probably why this one was shorter. They're like, oh, we don't want to make another last action hero. Let's shorten
That's
this
hard to
movie.
say though, because they both came out the same year, unless they came out a year
well,
after, you know.
well, they made a good call on this one.
And Lieutenant Huxley, her name was actually based on this guy named, was it
Audita.
Oh
Yes. Huxley. Here's a book. He wrote a book
Brave
about
New World,
the future, Brave New World. He wrote about the future. Yeah, I know. Got a book.
yeah. And
Got his
H.G.
books.
Wells' The Sleeper Awakes. So it's
Yeah.
influenced by 2 different books.
Yeah, sci-fi writers.
Yep, sci-fi writers. God, it is so good. There's nothing better than, I don't know, the technology that's really fun in this one, and then they make fun of not make fun, right? After AIDS, there was NRS. After NRS, there was UBT.
Yeah,
Like, what the
and
heck is all this stuff?
And there's a whole bunch of stuff, and it's like the real world. We keep coming up with new crap.
And like, I guess some of the technology didn't get updated so well when like he was using these kind of mini disc video things, like for
Yeah, well,
recording.
the
Like,
thing is, though, remember those mini discs were the future. Eventually, we'll get to using those,
Yeah.
but we never did. We just
No, we
like,
never
yeah,
did.
whatever.
shoot, we have
The future changed.
digital now. Yeah.
Plus, not everybody's got to go to one of those kiosks to look around for the future.
Oh yeah, like Google stuff. Yeah.
Now we just have cell phones.
Oh, cell phones. Yep,
It's
that's
a funny thing. The only thing I
phone.
could ever see that's did the cell phones is the Jetsons, in a way.
Oh, you know what? Yeah,
You don't really
Jetsons
ever
have
you don't ever
FaceTime.
see them on the Jetsons, but the Jetsons are from the '60s, right?
Yep.
I think it's '60s or '50s.
Yeah.
But anyways, in the opening credits of the Jetsons, you never see it in the Jetsons, but if you watch the opening credits of the Jetsons, where George is trying to get to work and fly off and get rid of his kids, he shows him where he gets on the elevator, and all the characters are moving down one of those, the sidewalks that slide up and
escalators.
forth.
Yeah.
Every one of them is looking at a device.
Oh,
Every one of them, and not one person's paying attention to the world around them.
just like right now.
But that's the only thing in the Jetsons that showed that from way back.
Yeah, nothing else had that device
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
face.
never. Yeah, if you watch the show and watch the show, all the episodes, you never see them using
It's
the
just the
devices.
intro.
But in the intro, you see it. And I thought, wow, that
Oh,
is weird. Somebody
that
had
is weird.
because everybody's got this device, and everybody on that little thing is looking at it and not paying attention to the rest of the world.
Oh, I never noticed that. The Jetson
Yeah,
is like a like just like the honeymooners, right? That's what I read about it.
yeah, it's like the Honeymooners in the future.
I never seen that show though.
I never watched the Honeymooners.
Hmm.
I don't know if I'd like it or not. It's quite a bit older.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Oh.
do like black and white comedy shows, so
Hmm.
maybe I
Okay.
should have. Maybe one day I'll give it a try. But I do like the Jetsons. I am a fan of the Jetsons. But again,
Yes.
it's hard not to be. It's cartoons,
It's cartoon, right? But it's like
but it is for grown up.
Simpsons,
Kids
but
can
yeah,
watch it, but it's
yeah.
more for grown ups. But yeah, it's a
It's
little
like
more grown up than
Simpsons, like, but
Simpsons.
yeah, Simpsons. It's
I say
a
it's more grown up.
cartoon.
Simpsons. Basically, it's because you had the caveman era, you had the Flintstones.
Yep.
That was like a TV show you'd watch in the afternoon and go home. Then they had the Jetsons. That's just
At
Flintstones in the
night.
future.
Flintstones is the future. Yes. I'm surprised they didn't try to do like an animated movie for the Jetsons. It would be so easily to predict to get the
Well, they
futuristic gadgets right now.
well they've tried. They've done like they tried to do a TV show with live action Jetsons. It's never made it, and of course they did remake more Jets. They made more Jetson shows during the '80s, I think.
Hmm.
And then there is a Jetsons movie too, animated movie,
Oh,
but I
okay.
never saw that. Most
So
of the other stuff is modern, but see the original Jetsons, the first season is it's way back in the '60s.
so here is my Back to the Future 2 rant section of from this movie.
Okay, I didn't know we
No,
have a little section. Just put a little box out that says Back to the Future commentary.
because no, I always complain about people coming like, oh, we should have flying cars now, Back to the Future 2. No one takes any gadgets from this movie and talk about like, hey, 2032, we're about to see blah 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 blah, like the glow sticks and the cannoli police car or cannoli car, things
Yeah,
like that.
well, you can't say nothing because we haven't got there yet.
Well, are we in the process of developing technology to
It
go
doesn't
there?
matter. We can't gripe until we get there and see we don't have
So
it.
we could do it in about 10 years.
Yeah, we got to be able to do all.
All
We're not
right,
gonna be
man, you better
self-driving
be
cars soon.
ready.
Yeah.
I'm gonna. Well, with self-driving cars, we're almost there actually. But
Yeah.
like the steering wheel, do you need it to do that?
Nah, but it just gets out of the way. It don't have to be that way.
It doesn't, right? You should just completely move the steering wheel if the cars are self-driving.
Yeah, but then you can't drive.
Do you need
I'm
it?
sh- I'm sure the steering wheel collapsed. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Why do you give a crap about it? But the problem is the steering wheel does take up a lot of space when
Yeah,
you're
it does.
sitting there
Yeah.
not doing anything. Let's say I want to pull out a magazine or a comic book and just start reading, reading. I don't want the steering wheel in my way. So the steering wheel could just collapse and go away
And
for a
then
little
yeah,
bit.
and just shrinks it. Yeah, because
And it just shrinks. It just tells you
I would
basically
like the option.
the steering wheel only shrinks in this movie to let you know that the car's driving by itself.
Hmm.
So keep your hands off. Even though our self-driving cars want you to keep your hands on the steering wheel.
Oh, and yeah.
Yeah, most of them do.
You
So
talk
if you
about
take them
full.
off,
You talk about autopilot, not full
yeah.
self-driving.
Well, full self-driving. I'm not talking about nothing. I'm just talking about we're gonna get to the future, okay?
Okay. How did you like those Falcon doors on the police cars?
Oh, I thought they're awesome.
I didn't
Gull
like
wing
that.
doors.
It
We keep saying Falcon doors. Gull wing.
going. Okay.
Yeah, gull wing doors.
So
Or
the
do they
only
call
thing
it
I didn't
Falcons?
like is like it controls the people who sit in the front and back, because it's one
Yeah,
giant door.
Yeah, well, this is a police car.
Yeah, but it's a police car. Like, don't they think that they need to put criminals in the back sometimes?
Did you watch the movie? Because they didn't have any criminals.
So why do they need the police?
I don't know.
Oh, this is a good question. Like, if there's no crime, why would they need the police?
Well,
Like,
they just need
why
to
is there
make
such a huge force
They-
for the police? Who's paying for this police? There's a
we
whole
don't know.
bunch of them.
Yeah, well, apparently they're probably just making sure people make it across. They probably do service calls like, we came to check to make sure you're well. Trying to make sure you be well. Make sure you didn't walk on the grass. Oh, please don't step on the grass there. We'll give you a fine.
I
I'm
guess
sure that's
the
all they
police are
did.
there just to watch the underground people.
Most likely they're there just because the founder or the lord of their city wants police to protect him in case something goes
Okay.
wrong. They're probably more there for his benefit than
So
the
did you think like in
the
San
people's.
Angeles, right? Is it San Angeles? Yeah, San
Yes, in
Angeles.
Angeles.
Is the rest of the United States it runs the same way?
No, it's all different because
It's
he
all
says
different.
they even talk about it
Yeah, that's
being
why I
different.
remember too.
They want the rest of the world to turn like his
His
model
yeah.
city.
Also, there's still crime. So just in case
Oh
those all
yeah,
the status come.
outside of this, they didn't run exactly like his company, like his town ran. So
You know
that's probably
what?
the thing. The police probably kept running everybody off.
We should also talk about there's no sarcasm in the future, right?
Okay,
Because
I
people
don't
didn't get
know.
the sarcasm. Like the police didn't get the sarcasm. Like when Phoenix was talking to people, like, "What? You guys don't do
Well,
sarcasm anymore?"
these people though are so simple, and they probably can't tell jokes. A lot of jokes because you got to think jokes
I'll
usually
probably
go
bet. Yeah,
after.
it could be. Yeah.
Well, jokes go after the people running things usually.
Yeah.
Yeah, social. You don't want social commentary because that's into the jokes and
Oh man,
sarcasm.
it feels like this
You
war
don't want
sucks.
you don't want people to think on their own.
Yeah, it feels like that. The
I mean, look
world
at the
of
police
Demolition Man
because if you look at
sucks.
the police uniforms, they're kind of more, more towards the Nazi side and anything because the fascists, very fascist.
Oh, it's very.
They had the
It's very
sticks. Yeah,
fascist.
they had
Yes.
stick. Yeah, they carry sticks, cut the caps on. They're made to look like if you say something against the main guy, we're gonna bust you down because everybody's always like, oh, he's the founder, he's the savior, he's the
Be well.
savior. Yeah, everybody's be well to each other, but
Yes.
basically they all follow this guy. So they're basically cult members.
Yes, they're very cool members.
All of
Yes.
them wear robes, especially like that big, that guy that's like the secretary for Cliff
Bob?
talk to.
Was it
Yeah,
Bob?
remember? Goes, hey man, well, first of all, we're gonna do something about that hair and this
Yes.
kimono you're wearing. You're
just
gonna have to get
just pick
rid
a
of
color.
that. Yeah, because remember he goes, oh yeah, and if I want to get naked and rub whatever greasy Cheetos
Well,
all over my
Gucci's like,
body,
I should be able to do that. Yes.
I should be able to do that.
I love Dennis Leary. Like he doesn't have a lot of big roles, but every time we've seen him, he's not like the leading man of a movie a lot.
No, probably doesn't want to be.
He probably doesn't want. That's not
But
his thing.
he was in a TV show Rescue Me. He was
Oh,
like the
that's
main
different. Yeah,
character.
he's the main character. I
So he
wanted to
could have
finish
been.
watching that show. There's only 6 seasons about firefighters in New York.
Okay, did you see them all?
I haven't. I started watching. I think
What's the
it's.
fun? Okay, yeah,
I
you
just didn't
should
have the
watch that.
time, but I'm pretty sure I could find it really easily. It's only 6 seasons, and I heard that it's a really good show.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah, I think it's created by Dennis Leary.
it probably is.
Yeah. The only movie I remember him starting is called The Ref. Wasn't it a Christmas movie? Have you
I
heard
don't
of it?
know.
The Ref?
Not that I remember.
Like how many Dennis Leary? I mean, besides we watched Spider-Man recently.
Yeah,
He was in Natural Born Killers. Well, I told you about Judgment Night. He was in a parody movie called Loaded Weapon one after Demolition Man.
yeah.
He was in The Sandlot.
He was.
He plays the stepfather of Smalls.
And I can't remember him in
He's the one who had the Babe Ruth signed baseball,
Yeah,
and then the kid took it, and then the dog chewed it up, right? But he got the whole Yankees team signed the whole ball to replace for his stepdad. I mean, he still got grounded.
yeah.
I forgot he was in
I
whatever.
forgot. Yeah, I just can't remember. I remember the movie, but I can't remember him in there.
Yeah, Dennis Leary. Who's a movie called Underworld? Oh my god, look at this picture. It looks so young.
Yeah, I can't see that.
You know what? He's in a lot of movies that we didn't see. He's in A Bug's Life, but that's just a voice.
I love Bug's Life.
Yeah, Bug's Life is good. He was also in the Thomas Crown Affair.
Okay, well maybe we should watch that. Well, we're not going to because I already know what it's about. But
Company Man. Oh, that's something else.
anyways, let's move on.
Yes. Oh, Ice Age. He's in all those Ice Age movies.
Yeah, he does a lot of voices.
Yeah, he does a lot of voices. I think he's not acting might not be his thing. Besides that, like what we talked about. Shoot, I forgot what we talked about. I'm getting old, Shane.
Demolition Man.
Yeah, no. But my point was I can't remember what I was talking
Oh,
about.
you had a point. Okay.
Yeah, about Dennis Leary. Like he might not. Oh, besides our Rescue Bee, that's probably his
Yeah.
biggest role than most of the stuff that he's been in.
It takes a lot of people getting to do something to make a movie. Okay, so
Yeah.
a lot of people had movies they were going to do. And
Maybe he's like Henry Rollins, where he's like very, picky about who he wants to play and things like that.
He may be. It's probably a good thing. Otherwise, you'd have a lot of crappy movies.
Yes.
You're liable to end up with a Matrix 4 or a Batman and Robin if you don't. I mean, he's probably like, Clooney was Batman? Oh my God. I don't want to see Batman. I don't want to see
Clooney is Batman, all right?
I want to see Clooney as Batman. Nobody wants to see Clooney as Batman. That's what he said. I want a big old fat T-bone steak.
Just wait.
A cigar.
You know what? I don't think I can live in this future just because it doesn't have steak alone.
You couldn't live in this
future. The only thing you can eat is probably chicken, right? Like, the chicken is probably the best protein for you, in this future.
You can't eat chicken here in this world. They don't eat meat, dude.
So what do they eat? Anything that has salt
it looked like cereal is what it looked like.
Cereal is bad for you too. That's worse than chicken.
Hey, it's probably cleaner, okay? I don't know.
So what you telling me? Like, everybody's vegan here?
They said everything is vegan.
But what was they serving? Some kind of tortilla chip at Taco Bell?
I don't know what they were serving, okay? They weren't serving Taco Bell stuff. Apparently, you can't eat frijoles anymore.
No frijoles, no sodas.
You're not I mean, it wasn't there. Yeah, you ain't getting
alcohol.
No gordita. You ain't getting no gorditas.
I don't want to live in this world.
I
want to live in this world as Simon Phoenix.
Yeah, well, yep. He eventually gets killed, so.
Yeah, but it's kind of like what I talk about Superman, right? They had to give him kryptonite just to, otherwise it's not fair in the world. I would
live in this world after the end of this movie.
Because everything comes back, yeah.
And now you could be a part of it. Yeah, you could be a part of it.
So I can say, like, I would live in this world as Simon Phoenix without John Spartan.
No, because see, it won't ever get good. So it didn't get good.
For me, it does.
For Simon, though, he's just freaking. He's never gonna get anything good to eat because he killed all those people. After a while, he's gonna go, "Huh? How am I supposed to get a rat burger?" And they'd be, "Oh, I'll kill all the people that made rat burgers." So I mean, he's not gonna get anything. See, the thing is, John Spartan. No, not John Spartan. Simon destroys his own source of living in the world.
I guess you're right.
He's gonna go because he was gonna go murder Friendly, and then he'd kill all those other people, and those are the people that make the world that he wants to live in.
Or he want to live in his own thing. He want to do his own thing.
He's got to get tired of eating Taco Bell cereal stuff. It looked like, come on, you see those little containers they had, the little crunchy stuff? It looked like Captain Crunch in there.
Oh, I didn't pay attention to that.
They probably poured it on the plate and put water in it.
But this movie's timeline is only like a day, right? It's just one day of events.
It seems like maybe 2 days.
Just 2. Like, he was thawed out on one day, they go to bed, and then the next day they solve the problem. Or by the next night, they solve the Simon Phoenix debacle.
Maybe.
It wasn't like throughout the whole week.
It may be 3 days.
No, I'm saying like 2 to 3 days. Yeah,
I'm gonna say 3 days
because like they don't show them eating. Like, what the heck? The only meal that Sylvester Stallone had is that like whatever Taco Bell they had, and then the rat burger with the beer.
Yeah, the rat burger with the beer.
How did they
tell you what? Then you probably have to have the 3 seashells after that.
Yes, like I'm rat burger. Like my body's not used to this yet.
Yeah. Man.
So I'm so glad that we answered the question for this show. Like, would you eat a rat burger? We both said yes.
Yeah, it was like that. Yes, I mean, I'm not gonna. Of course, I would. Yeah. If somebody's to walk up to me right now and go, "Hey, you want a rat burger?" I'd be like, "No, what are you nuts?" But if I lived in that world,
yes, yeah, I would. Yeah,
I am eating a rat burger because I'm like, I like somebody's got to have French fries, dude. Somebody's got to be growing potatoes.
So somewhere. I asked you this before. My answer to this question. Like, would you eat a kangaroo steak?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I might try it.
I'll just try it, but not. I don't
really want a kangaroo. It can't be that good.
I don't know. I want
kangaroos.
Problem with they're probably very lean, right?
It's probably like eating a rabbit.
Oh, I have eaten rabbit, so I don't know. But you know what? It's about for time for us to wrap it up. So until then, be well. Be well, Shane.
Be well, Lamb. Hey.
Yes. Woo!
I'm sorry, I had my hand in the wrong spot.
Yeah, the hand in the wrong spot. Be well.
Be well.
Thank you for tuning in for this episode of Tensai Reviews. If you like what you heard, give us a thumbs up. Follow us on Spotify and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'll see you on the next one.